Greetings, everyone. I'm Gail Macinda, and I am truly delighted that you are here with us today. By investing your time in this course, you're demonstrating your eagerness to explore new ways to make history class fun and engaging for your students. For a variety of reasons, I was not a fan of history class early on. I had the dull classes with the dull teachers covering dull topics in a dull way. But some things happened during my journey, and some of these, plus a whole lot more, is what this course is about. Some of these things you may have already thought about or are already doing. I have a lot of recipes, and I cook from scratch every day. But I still enjoy getting new cookbooks to give me new ideas or remind me of an old recipe or looking for ways to improve an old standby. This course may be like that for you, and that's okay. The most important thing is your desire to make history class more fun. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to jump right in here and get this first one over with because it's the ickiest one. Here we go. You need to believe that history is fun or exciting or at least interesting or any other positive word you want to add. This is important because if you say you don't like something, then your kids probably won't like it either. Well, unless they're teenagers and then all bets are off, but that's another topic for another day. Look at this guy's face. If he was telling you how fun history was, would you believe him? Hey, kids, we're going to have fun today. We're going to do history. Yippee! Not so believable, is it? I understand this may not have been your favorite subject, but in some ways that doesn't matter. Do you remember ever trying to feed a baby something new? You made all the yum, yum, yum sounds and the silly faces, and may even tried a few spoonfuls yourself. You didn't make it sound nasty. You didn't make icky faces, ugh, and then expect your kids to eat it. It's not so different with school subjects. If you don't like something, this isn't the time to be telling your kids about that, either in words or by your body language or facial expressions. It is okay to say, wow, I never knew that before. Oh, I missed that one along the way. Oh, I wish that book was around when I was a kid. That looks great. Or, your memory is so good for all this stuff. That's amazing. Or, I know what it's like to struggle with some of these things too, but let's work through it together. I also teach piano lessons, and I've been doing so for over 50 years now. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've gotten phone calls from parents to enroll their kids in piano lessons, and sometime during the conversation, it goes like this. I ask, did you ever take music lessons as a kid? Answer, yeah, I did for a couple years, and I hated it. My mom and dad made me practice. Oh, okay. How do you feel about helping little Susie during practice time? Well, I had to do it, and she's going to have to do it too. Or, she says she wants to do this, and if she's going to do it, she has to be on her own. Or any number of other things. How long do you think those lessons lasted? I've actually had kids in my studio crying because a parent was making them do it. My mom said she hated to practice, so I don't see why I have to. And at that point, their talent really doesn't matter. How much better to say, whoa, you're getting so smooth on that song. Wow, I can tell you've been practicing. I can hear such a difference. Okay, I'll get off my piano soapbox now, but the idea is exactly the same. Your attitude towards history or piano or anything else will go a long way to making things fun. Now, I still want you to acknowledge the challenges, the concepts that are difficult, the research that seems to go on forever, Life is not always a series of successes. We have to learn how to deal with the things that are difficult or even that might seem as failures. But you can do that in a way that shows your students that they are not alone. You are right there in the trenches with them, and maybe, just maybe, you might find that this history stuff is more interesting than you realized. That's what happened to me, and we're going to be talking a lot about that in our future times together. Let's talk about little kids one more time. Why is the grass green? Why is the sky blue? Why does the rain look like this? Why does the dog do that? Whatever it is, everything was why. They have a sense of wonder. I love I wonder statements. I wonder why that telephone we saw on that TV show looks so different than the one we use now. I wonder why those guys wore those funny three-sided hats. I wonder if Johnny Appleseed really wore a pot on his head. We want to ask why. We want to know. We do not want to discipline that wonder or curiosity out of our students. So if they ask, why did this or that happen? A good response could be, that is a really good question. Let's find out. In our last lesson, we talked about recipes a bit, and here we are talking about cooking again today. This is really a fun one, and it is so easy to put cooking and history together. Let's say we're doing the course on the Pony Express. You can investigate what foods they had at the different stations. And remember, they did this without refrigeration and with no convenience stores nearby. A Civil War unit, you can explore hardtack. And don't just talk about it, make it, and then try to eat it. Good luck with that one. How about one of our units on apples? There are lots of recipes to try. Even while you're cooking, you can be talking about this with your students. I love this multi-generational picture. Use these cooking and prep times to make topics into unit studies. Math and science are particularly easy during cooking, but it works with history equally well. Let's combine apples with some I wonder statements. I wonder how many kinds of apples are native to America. I wonder where the term as American as apple pie came from. I wonder if George Washington liked apple pie. Holidays and their traditions are another great time to combine cooking with history. Pumpkins, corn, Christmas cookies, coconuts, and everyday things too, like how was milk delivered? Who developed pasteurization? You can take the biography of any person in history and see if you can find their favorite food or recipe from their time. You can study any era to find out what was a popular meal at that time, what was a common menu. Tastes change. I come from the era of molded salads. You can study any war or conflict and discuss what the soldiers ate, how it was prepared, how did they cook, how did they transport their food. Our ancestors cooked. Everybody eats. It's one of the things that absolutely every one of us has in common. And looking into what and how and why, the wonder of cooking is another great way to make history fun.